Right now at noon, parents and students in Joplin schools are seeing changes to their bus routes after receiving a letter from the school's transportation department.
And it's sunny and warm, at least for now. We do have thunderstorm chances later this evening across the area. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, some members of the Carthage City Council renew their efforts to oust the mayor and city administrator.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, parents and students in Joplin schools are seeing changes to their bus routes. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. Some parents recently received a letter from the Joplin Schools Transportation Department. It informed them that while working to improve transportation efficiency, the district discovered their students' bus stop was in a no bus zone. This means some parents have to find alternate transportation for the last month of the school year.
I'm just a single father, and I also work out of Neosho, so it makes it a little bit harder. We recently just moved up here 3 years ago. There's not a lot of family help around here for myself, and I'm sure it's the same thing for other parents around the community.
The Joplin Schools Transportation Department says throughout the year they go through their system and find students who should be walking rather than riding the bus. They say it just so happens this letter came out with only a month left of school. Well, people in Crawford County were able to expand their horizons and learn about new career opportunities today at the Together Crawford County Job and Resource Fair. The event, held at Pittsburgh Memorial Stadium, invited people to connect, support, and engage with community organizations and businesses. The city of Carthage yesterday hosted a special meeting to discuss next steps in efforts to remove the city administrator and impeach the mayor. Council yesterday moved forward with a request for proposal for legal guidance on their next moves. The request could bring in an independent law firm or mean hiring a new city attorney after Carthage's resigned earlier this month.
My personal preference, I would prefer to have an attorney hired by the city. The firm could be a fine option, but I think having that same person, that same consistency for city staff and all involved, that makes more sense.
The council's next scheduled meeting is Tuesday, May 14th, though they discussed holding another special meeting before then. Let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got a couple of stray showers out there in parts of southeast Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma right now. Nothing significant, and our better chances for more organized thunderstorm activity will come later this evening across the area. But you can see those kind of flaring up there very quickly, but they should not amount to too much other than maybe a stray sprinkle. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line looking back to the north over Joplin. The skies are clear, and same from our camera at the Cornell complex in downtown Joplin. But if you were to swing it back to the west, we do have some clouds associated, of course, with those showers out there. We still have that low to elevated risk for strong to severe thunderstorms as we head into the evening. Again, tomorrow evening, and we have that low end risk for some stronger storms as we head into Thursday as well. And we're going to break down those details here in just a moment. 52 is where we started yesterday. 78 is where we made it. So about average for the low, a little above average for the high, and above average already. 80 in Joplin, 77 in Pittsburgh. 81 in Chanute, as you can see, is one of the warm spots. The rest of us upper 70s across the area. And again, now out west, some of our southeastern Kansas counties, you're going to start to see some of these showers and thunderstorms, say Yates Center, points west and northwest with this activity earlier than this. But as it covers across the area, we'll see additional showers and thunderstorms rolling through as we go overnight. We're going to get to the full details on that here in just a few more minutes. Lise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, communities across the 4 states are cleaning up flood damage from weekend storms. Areas around Fort Scott, Kansas are among the worst hit by flooding. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
This was one of the worst floods we've had in a while. 1986 was the worst flood that I've ever witnessed. I've been here 54 years, and that was the worst flood where the water crested at 52 feet. And this one crested right around 47.5 feet.
Fort Scott City Manager Bradley Mackin thanks local emergency services for their assistance during the severe weather and flooding. City officials are now focusing on cleaning up.
I don't think the cleanup is going to last that long. We've got a couple roads that have to be redone to repair those once we get started on them, but we have to get to that point. But the overall cleanup won't take more than a week, and we'll be back to normal business.
It's not just city and county workers dealing with the aftermath. Workers at Pete's convenience store on US 54 cleaned up over a foot of flood water.
Came down to check on the place because it was flooded really bad yesterday, and showed up, and I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but it's pretty bad.
The convenience store was in 18 inches of flood water.
We're having to pull almost every single product that was 18 inches at that 18-inch level because we have to waste it out and everything and get all the mud and everything off the floors. They have to rewire everything inside.
Residents are eager to clean up and for water levels to return back to normal because navigating across town is tricky.
Then the river overflowed down there by the bridge. It was rolling over the river, so it couldn't come down here. And I don't know, it's a mess.
Reporting in Fort Scott, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
According to the city manager, the cleanup should take less than a week and damaged roads will be repaired. Kansas Department of Health and Environment has issued a stream advisory for a part of the Verdigris River because of an oil well spill. The advisory is from 75 Highway east of Neodesha, Kansas, in Wilson County to the Oklahoma state line. The KDHE says people should not allow children, livestock, or pets to enter the stream. Heavy rains caused issues in Ottawa County, Oklahoma. This is video of the Neosho River at Twin Bridges State Park. As you can see, debris and logs have accumulated in the river for about the length of 2 football fields, causing a jam. The city of Miami says it's not aware of any plans by ODOT or GRDA to remove the debris or close the bridge at this time. For more information about area river levels, you go to our weather page on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The city of Fredonia, Kansas has some tips for property owners recovering from this weekend's storms. One is to clear gutters and drains so water can flow more freely away from your home. Also, seal your windows and doors to prevent water infiltration and inspect your sump pump to make sure it can handle excess water if needed. Saturday's storms dropped tornadoes throughout Oklahoma, including what forecasters say was at least an EF3 in the town of Sulphur. Downtown Sulphur was torn apart with winds reaching at least 140 miles an hour. One person there was killed. 2 more were killed in Holdenville, Oklahoma. 12 counties in Oklahoma are currently under a state of emergency. Well, a mountain lion was spotted yesterday near a Galesburg Middle School in Neosho County. A report from the city of Galesburg says the mountain lion was startled, then fled southwards. Officials advise people to use caution during outdoor activities in the area, and to report a sighting, contact the Neosho County Sheriff's Department or the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. Well, coming up, 4 law enforcement officers were killed in a standoff with a convicted felon. And later, we're making Homestyle tuna croquettes in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, tragedy in North Carolina. 4 law enforcement officers were shot and killed yesterday while serving a warrant to a convicted felon. 4 more officers were wounded. CBS News' Dave Malkoff has the latest from Charlotte.
Gunfire erupted in a neighborhood in Charlotte, North Carolina around 1:30 yesterday afternoon.
Shots fired at officer, possibly 1 down. Subjects, correction, 2 down. Subjects barricaded themselves.
Authorities say the shootout started as members of a U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force were serving a warrant on a convicted felon they say was illegally in possession of a firearm. According to police, as the officers approached, the suspect opened fire.
We heard something over a loudspeaker, like, come out of the dogs coming, come out of the dogs coming, and then it was like a loud siren. And then you just heard gunfire left and right.
Police say 8 officers were shot. 4 have died. 1 deputy U.S. Marshal, 2 officers with the North Carolina Department of Adult Corrections, and 1 Charlotte Mecklenburg police officer.
And the most that I can ask of our community is that we honor and respect them.
Authorities say officers continued to face gunfire even after they shot and killed the suspect in the front yard. A woman and a 17-year-old were later found inside the house. Both were taken to the police station for questioning.
The bravery, the heroism, everything that goes down with that defines what our profession is. Our people demonstrated that.
A procession of law enforcement vehicles drove through Charlotte last night for the fallen. The FBI is assisting with the investigation. Dave Malkoff, CBS News, Charlotte.
Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
The main ingredient in today's dish is super versatile, and it's probably right in your pantry. What is it, and how are we going to make it different?
And we're keeping an eye on thunderstorm chances this evening, tomorrow evening, and into Thursday. We'll have the latest in that forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we are warming up and we've had sunshine across the area, but we are beginning to see a few showers out there. This is from our camera at 7th and Rangeline, looking almost due west, and you can see that cloud cover out there. Now, you folks know sometimes you can get those little radar blips that aren't actually rain. It's just a glitch in the radar data, but in this case, the clouds help kind of confirm what we're seeing here on the Skywatch Storm Trackers. Not just a radar glitch. We got a few stray showers out here in parts of southeastern Kansas, stretching in northeastern Oklahoma. Now, these aren't expected to do much of anything. We'll keep an eye on them, though. We've got this one just to the east of Erie, east of Parsons, north of Oswego, almost right on top of Chautauqua, and south of Oswego. And then this little guy, almost due southwest of Miami right now, south of Welch into Craig County. And as you can see, they kind of flared up. They're not doing much out there, but we're seeing just a few isolated showers on a weak wave that's kind of passing through. Our bigger concern is going to be as we head into this evening. We've got a low to elevated tornado risk out there, primarily in southeastern Kansas. Low to elevated hail threat with that significant threat in our far northwestern edges of the area, and a low to elevated wind risk out there. So the greater concern as we head into the evening and the early overnight hours rather, is going to be with hail and wind. But again, an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. So what are we looking at as we head through the rest of the evening? We get about 6 o'clock. It's going to be the remnants of a thunderstorm complex that's going to be off to our north and west, where there's a slightly greater severe threat. So by about 6, this is what I was mentioning earlier on the evening planner. Yates Center points west, starting to see a few of these showers and storms. We go 8, 9 o'clock, and here we see we've got more of them along this boundary, and these could be strong, possibly severe out there as we head through the evening hours. And we'll have some activity kind of trying to push into far southeastern Kansas into Missouri, here by Stockton, and down around northeastern Oklahoma by midnight. And the rest of this activity, the few remaining showers, will begin to clear out at about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Then I'll spend our Wednesday cloudy, mostly cloudy at least, warm still, but dry until the afternoon hours and evening, when we see another round of showers and thunderstorms. And some of these sporadically could be strong, potentially severe as well. And then as we head a little later down the road into our Thursday, we got another potential round of at least some strong storms as we head in the afternoon hours and into the evening hours out there. Right now, we're still just looking at a low risk. We're talking strong to low grade severe thunderstorms. But nonetheless, as we head through the evening hours, we could see additional showers and thunderstorms into our Thursday, which is why we have that low risk on Thursday. So low to elevated today. Low to elevated, a little more confined to southeastern Kansas tomorrow, and then a low risk for the strong to low-grade severe storms for us on our Thursday. Quick check of temperatures around the area. Again, we're warming up. 80 Joplin, Carthage, 81 in Chanute. The rest of us hanging out into the upper 70s already across the area. And as we go into the rest of the week, it's still going to be warm. Low 80s tomorrow, a little cooler Thursday with that cloud cover, mid-70s. And we're looking to be dry for at least one day outside of Monday this week, at least one full day. As we go into Friday, we're going to be about 70, and we've got additional shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into the weekend as well. So that's going to only compound an already tricky situation with the flooding, especially across southeastern Kansas, where flood warnings continue. Still dealing with all of that, trying to clean that up, and more rain, at least right now, is not what you need, and that's what's on the way.
Alrighty, well, thanks, Chris. Stick around. We're making Homestyle tuna croquettes in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, today, Howard is showing us the recipe for Homestyle tuna croquettes in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
From reading your emails, we know that many of you like anything with tuna in it. And when we recently made a super creamy tuna noodle casserole. We were blown away by how many of you went to MrFood.com to get the recipe. So to satisfy your endless appetite for tuna, we came up with the best tuna croquettes ever. All we do is drain and flake a large can of tuna and place it in a bowl, along with a good amount of mashed potatoes, some frozen peas that we've thawed, some finely chopped red onion, a bit of breadcrumbs, a touch of spicy mustard, a beaten egg, and a little salt and pepper. After gently mixing this together, we shape it into patties just like we would when we're making a burger. Now, we coat these with some breadcrumbs before pan frying them in a bit of oil. When they're golden and heated through, they are ready to serve. We can even make these ahead of time and simply heat them in the toaster oven or oven whenever we want. Maybe top them with our homemade lemon dill sauce, and are you ever in for a doubly good treat? So here's what I suggest. Go online and get the recipe for our Homestyle tuna croquettes, along with our lemon dill sauce, so you can shake up your dinner or lunch routine with something new. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a family-friendly way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can, of course, find this recipe on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, a couple of stray showers in southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. Strong, potentially severe thunderstorms this evening, tomorrow evening, and again on Thursday out there. So additional rain that ordinarily we would need, but right now we've just had a little too much across the area. Dry Friday, more storm chances into the weekend.
All right, thanks, Chris. And what do we have this evening?
A lot coming up at 5. Experts around the country are expecting another busy tick season and urging people to take precautions while spending time outdoors. We're going to see how one health department is dragging nets through parks to collect ticks to test for diseases. Plus, the Joplin Library is expanding its resources available to patrons. We're going to check out some of the library's new machines that allow you to digitize items like vinyl records and VHS. And communities in Vernon County, Missouri are still reeling from this past weekend's storms as they look to repair flood damage and prepare for more potential severe weather. Hope you'll join us, KOAM News at 5.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dow. Well, that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll, of course, see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.